This conference will
Privacy. We
now
need
be
privacy.
recorded.
All right. Thank you. So we kick off officially now. Okay. So we start from how do I get asked? How do I should I give my ask? Yeah, people are confusing me now. Okay. Should I give my spouse access to my phone? Check to check some of my phone calls, to check all messages and stuff like that. To me, I think it doesn't make sense. But some people messages to like if you have and our she has her own phone, or maybe I'm the wife, he has his own phone. So why give you access to my phone? If not, if you want to use the credit on my phone, yes, I can give you the phone. But not, I'll just give you access to my phone just for you to be checking whether I'm not cheating on you or something like that. So that is where we stopped last week. So I think so let me throw the question open. For me, let me just answer it now so that before some people start coming and start going for my head. For me, I don't think I need to give her access to my phone. She has her own phone. That's my own point. She has her own phone. If she wants to, maybe she doesn't have her own phone. She could be need to use my phone. Why not? Use on my phone. I have credit on her, I'll do that. But just giving her a free access, like take my password and stuff like that, access to his bank account. I think I think that's another handle to why we need to be. I think as a man, I think sometimes there are a lot of things we just I think we want to hide from our spouse, even as a wife too. Not because we are cheating on them or because we have something they don't have to see. But there's a statement that says what you don't know cannot kill you. So I think I think that I just feel that there's a lot of it's just better not to open the phone or your computer to have access because there are some messages sometimes. Like I gave an example last week. I wanted to I wanted to save a lady's number on my phone, Fumi Stars, and you know autocorrect how to change it to Fumi Sex. Though that was a joke, but it happens, and something like that actually wanted to happen to me today. I wanted to send text to somebody, and something like that autocorrect has to change it. So in that kind of cases, that whereby you just have to, you don't need to go into argument. Just let me keep my phone, keep your phone. Like the popular saying, what you don't know cannot kill you. And I want to hear your thoughts on that too. So let me pass the microphone. Somebody has joined us, though it's not showing name, and I think the person is joining us for the first time. Okay, the name is kk.com. I think this person is kk.com. Good evening to you or good morning wherever you are. If you want to talk to us, please, there is a microphone. Okay, let me turn on my camera now. All right, you can see me. There's a microphone in front of you, a logo. So if you want to speak for us to hear you, all you need to do is just press the microphone. If you are not talking, you can press it back so that the background noise from your area will not come up. KK, I see you. Oh, my brother, well done. Okay, I can see you now, but if you want to talk, there's one in front of you. All you need to do is just press it. Then we hear your voice. Okay, let me quickly introduce Gone. There was a topic we are talking about since last week, so we pass it on to today. It says, should I give my wife or my spouse or your husband the access to your phone? That Mr. Dixon, are you still watching the Money Heist? Mr. David, I see you. Good evening.
No, no, no,
Welcome.
no. I'm not watching the Money Eyes. I paused it already, but sometimes I think
Uh,
the network is. I hear you speaking, but it just scrambles and that. But I pick up here and there. Like, am I still on or am I out? I see network.
I think Black Moses network is
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because from
just
my side, yeah, I think I see his video very clearly. So
yeah,
I think it's
I can hear you clearly too, Mr. Dixon.
yeah, yeah. So I think it's from his side.
Maybe you should put off his video. I think that will make it better too.
I can hear you.
Mhm.
Good evening,
Yeah, you
everyone.
see. But the thing is, I think he's logging in from the laptop and from the mobile phone, so he's going to create some kind of network jam.
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Let us chill. I think the network is messing up our line, but I believe you can hear me. So I posted the topic on the group chat. You will see the topic is, should I give my spouse an access to my phone? And my own take is no. Why should I? She has her own phone, except she wants to make use of my phone to call, then I can give it to her. But giving her the total 100% access to my phone, to me, I won't say it's wrong, but I can't do that. I can't give her access to my phone just for safety. But some people come from my head and say, why? If you have nothing to hide, give her. And some people say, so I think it's vice versa too. Mr. Dixon, so who is ready to go right now? Back. Anybody, just on your, you can talk. The floor is yours.
Yeah, about giving one's phone
Okay.
to, I mean, access or giving the access of, to your phone to your spouse or, or your girlfriend or boyfriend when they're even not yet married. I think there's different cases when you're married and when you're not married. It's not a bad thing and it's not a requirement. Like, it's not what makes your relationship smooth, transparent, or whatever you want to call it. If it can be played as a game. We are men, Abi. So it's simple. You know the time that your girlfriend or your, is it concubine this time, should not call you. And you give your phone to the woman who is fooling who. If you want to play games, you can play games all of the time. So it's not about the phone. You know, you can still hook up outside. You can even decide to communicate through the email. You're giving your phone and you're logging in on to your email from your laptop or email that is not on your phone. There are just numerous ways to play a game, and it's up. Yeah, we know. I know there are certain men or women who try to track, their spouse. It's not healthy and it's not safe. So giving access to your phone, access to your spouse, it's not a yardstick for love or for transparency or honesty. So it's normal if you find a man that will give it to you or a woman that will give it to you. It's okay. For example, I myself, I mean, take myself for example. I will not clap for you if you give me access to your phone. Like, it's not a big deal. It means nothing to me. Even my phone, I have not used it finish. So why should I start going through your phone? For what am I looking for? So it's nothing to me. It's nothing. But my phone, most of the time, is on lock. Is on lock. Like, and if you want to use my phone for whatever you want to use it for, yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't even give you the pattern because I open with pattern. I'll just unlock with my finger. Oh, yeah, do what you want to give me back. So for every time you want to use my phone is with my permission. I know that you really want to use it. So you don't just go
Mhm.
behind my phone and start mining. Mining for what? I don't know what you want to mine for. So And that does not mean that I'm not loyal to you or be honest, or I'm infidel. It's just it's my private property. That's how I see it. Yeah.
Thank you for your point. I think is the yeah, I agree with your point, but I know a lot of people are going to disagree. And I just think it's the environment. Our environment make it look like you just if you are not hiding anything, like you just said, if I want to play game, I can easily play games without my phone. So why bother? And sometimes they say if you know it, you are not hiding anything, just give up. And let's hear from another side. Let's leave Mrs. Bukola alone for now. I think she's still feeding her baby or she's eating. Let's call on let's call on our newcomer. Okay, you can turn your mic microphone. Mr. Kule, for home right now.
Um, Good afternoon. Oh, sorry. Good
All
evening,
right.
everyone.
Yeah, good
Can you hear?
afternoon from where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Good.
evening.
Good evening, sirs. Um.
Yeah, we
Well,
can hear you. Yeah.
it's actually a sensitive discussion you're putting up tonight, and I'm glad to join this, even from this part of the world. The From my own perspective, I password my phone not for any major reason, but because of the kids. Just so they don't go into the phone in the guise of I want to play games, and they go into sensitive app information and all that. Now, the fact that I refuse to give my spouse the password doesn't make me a bad guy. Just like one of us have said, ohun tí ohun tí téèyàn ò bá rí ò kí ń bọ́kàn jẹ́. Sorry, I don't know, but the truth is there's some things you just stumble on your phone and you yourself you find it difficult to explain it.
Mhm.
And there's no amount of explanation in this part of the world. um I'm using myself as an example now. The common messages I get, probably from folks, from colleagues, from friends here, you just see a message saying, "Hey babe, hi, hello dal." It makes no meaning here. It's not a big deal, you know. But for someone that does not understand, talent tó ń pè ní darling yẹn, who is that calling you dear? What kind of nonsense is that? Those kind of jam questions you tend to be answering. As a matter of fact, when we were courting and when we got married, I'm like, see, if you want to live long and you want to be the mother of your children, there are some things you just go jumbe for, just so you don't just give yourself unnecessary stress. And the
Mhm.
same thing goes to me. Funny enough, it's just gone consciously or unconsciously. When my phone rings, she just like, phone yẹn dùn, ẹ gbé ta ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ah, oh, she doesn't want to even touch go there near it. And the same to her phone, your phone is ringing. Oh, she wá gbé, ló kàn mí pẹ̀lú phone ẹ. Those kind of things. Because really, but unfortunately, I have a password to her phone because I do a lot of stuff for her on the apps, but she doesn't have mine. That is not to say that I can't give it to her if she wants to. But trust me, she doesn't even want to know. She doesn't care.
For safety.
Yeah. And this is not to say that I indulge in stuff, but like I said, there are some things you can't even explain yourself. You know, how do you want to explain a message coming from a friend? Hey, babe, are you going for dinner tonight? You don't put meaning into all those things. So I think it's more of it's more from an understanding perspective when you know that, well, whether he has my password or he gives me his password, it still doesn't change a guy that wants to do stuff. I've seen guys that have I've seen guys that have given their spouses every password, even their PIN. You know, okay, maybe PIN is another discussion. And I don't let me go into the ATM PIN. Now they have given their wives all access. But trust me, all Buddha come in, you know. So it's
That's
not
true.
about
That's true.
it's not about the access. It's just about managing your sanity, you know. At all. She's I think she had this conversation and so she comments here or that, sorry. Now there's a discussion going on that is it normal? Okay, oh one more so. Okay, better go going. So guys, I think that's just about my own point, my own comment concerning this. Thank you.
Okay, I think we lost
Yeah, I'm done. I just
connection
said I'm
over
done.
there.
I'm
Connection
done.
No,
is
no,
really messing us up
no.
today.
We did not lose
Okay,
him. I
okay.
think we're
All right,
losing because
I
of
was enjoying
the
this.
lag.
I was lost in the conversation. I was lost in the conversation. All right, thank you. Mr. Otitopo, Mr. David, you are everywhere on my system. I can see in 3 places. Are you using 3 phones or 3 laptops? It's your turn. I know you'll be coming from a spiritual aspect now, which is welcome. Let's have you. Which one are you using? Are you using the whole Mr. David? If you can hear us, you can hear your mic right now before or Mr. Loud. Loud, you can talk. I think Mr. David is not left, is not here with us. Okay.
Okay,
Loud, go
sir.
ahead. All
Yeah,
right,
can you
thank
hear
you.
me? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Loud,
Okay.
yes. I hear you.
Okay. I want to sincerely appreciate the sincerity of Mr. Kunle and then my brother, I think Mr. Otitokoro, right, that spoke earlier. The truth is, from my own point of view, I feel giving a password should come mutually. Like, okay, you don't force it. Like, okay, take. I think you understand. But the moment a lady starts giving you pressure, baby, oh yeah, password. What's the password? What's this? What's that? I think it has gotten to another level. I think you understand. So for me, I feel if you really want to give it, okay, but because of sanity, like Mr. Kunle said, because of sanity, because of there are some things that okay, it's better not to say it or not to hear it, so that you won't just lose the state of your mind. I think you understand, and then it comes with doubt too. I think you understand. And for a man, if you really feel there's something you don't want your spouse to see or know at the moment, I feel okay before because technology, everything is advanced now, everything is advanced. And if you feel there's something you don't really want your spouse to know, for example, now I know of okay, maybe men of God that there are some conversations that are just between them and the church member. I think you understand. So there are some private conversations that it's not as if probably the person is
Yes,
cheating or
yes.
not. They don't just want, even the person telling the pastor does not want the conversation to get to the third party. I think you understand. So I feel if okay, you still want your wife to get access to your phone, there are some ways you do it. The technology is now advanced. I think there's a way you can hide apps on your phone, hide some things on your phone, and even you will be the only person to know where the thing is. I think you understand. And for me personally, one of the major reasons why, of course, I'm not married, but then um, each time my fiance comes around, she's free with my phone. Yeah, she knows the password and she can access it. For me, one of the reasons why I put password on my phone is because okay, maybe when I pocket my phone the screen might just press one or two things. That's for me. That's my own personal reason for passwording. If uh there's something I don't really want her to see, it's something I can easily hide on my phone, like hide app, freeze app, and she might not be able to access it. So like I said earlier, I would say it again that getting your spouse password or getting your partner's password should come from a mutual mind, should come from a free mind. Okay, take, not that you are forcing me to give you my password, like giving me, putting pressure on me. I think that one has gotten to another level. In fact, when someone is giving you pressure to give your password, I think you should be sensitive about that kind of issue too. But for the sake of sanity, for the sake of peace of mind, it's better you don't even ask for it. So if she gives or if he gives, good for the person. But for the sake of sanity, to maintain your state of mind, and let's just continue things that way. So it's better you just keep it to yourself. And if the person really wants to know, and you think there's something you don't want your wife or your partner to see, you can hide it from them. I don't think there's any crime in that, so that you can have a balance and a well maintained relationship. So that's my own point of view.
Okay, thank you, Lalu, thank you. Quickly,
Sorry,
let
can I
me
be quick chipping
welcome
something?
to. Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to make a comment with regards to hiding in its context. To me, whatever that is being hidden means problem. As a matter of fact, I don't care whatever text comes onto my phone, whatever thing comes to my phone, I rather leave it there, because I feel that once you are deleting stuff, once you are hiding stuff, it's more or less of, oh, she must not see this. Until we get to a point whereby the other party knows that, okay, whatever he has or whatever comes into our phone is there, and nothing extraordinary is attached to it, then then we are good to go. But by the time I start deleting, I start hiding. What if she gets to see it? Or what if he gets to see it? You may think, oh, she's not tech savvy, or you may think he is not tech savvy. While she has access, or he has access to your phone at some point, and she begins to fiddle with the phone, and she gets into the place, and she now stumbles on it. What will be the story to supporting your reason for hiding? So I feel hiding, deleting is still part of hiding, and still part of some hidden stuff. If you need to leave it there, leave it there. Let her know. Pushing lolly, so that when she sees the next time, he won't even bother her head. When he sees it the next time, he won't even bother her head. He won't bother his head. But by the time I start deleting, I start hiding. What if she has the phone one day, she's using the phone, and that thing comes in while she's using a poem? You need to quickly bring it, just hide this skinny on it. So it's really nice, but
Yeah,
it still boils down to the person you're dealing with, which is why I said the other time that it's more of understanding of both parties. I rather leave it there, and she knows, okay, any man send message, let her know. Any man send message, so there's that establishment. Oh, is that person, because hiding, you're just only suspending, or what's that English now? Just
You're just delaying
you're
it.
just delaying that
Because
gobe that will still happen. You understand?
It's like a time bomb, right?
Exactly. So it's still there. So instead of now delaying that time bomb, that one person will just wake you up in the middle of the night, that you are thinking of how to wake up, get into traffic, how to make ends meet, pay bills. One woman is now waking you up ahead. Tani Folake, Tani to Muri message control. Those kind of, and before you process the answer, you know, another question is waiting for you to answer again. That's just my own point of view. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me quickly welcome two people that just joined us lately. Niger boy, good evening to you. Gloria, good evening. Niger boy, on your mic. Okay, we're having new members tonight. Okay.
I don't really know what the conversation is about, but I heard you talking about locking your phone or computer or something like that. Um, I don't think for instance in my household, me and my wife, she locks her phone. I know her password, and my phone is also locked also. And I don't think there's anything bad in that. Just because for some people you put a lot of stuff on your phone. For instance, I lost my phone last year in I think in Czech Republic. I lost my phone, and I have a whole lot. I have like a lot of stuff on my phone, different kind of pictures, files, like a lot of stuff. So if my phone was open, I mean, all those files, all those pictures are they're being compromised like that. So like I said, I know my wife's phone's password, and I think she knows mine. But apart from that, I don't think there's any big deal. I mean, if you're both mature enough, I don't think you're hiding anything. I don't think that you should that should be a problem. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Niger boy. A lot of opinion from the people that are not in Niger. I understand two people are not in Niger and they are in our midst, Mr. Kunle and the Niger boy. So I understand your angle, but our Nigeria setting, our situation in our environment here, if a lot of last week we started this question and some people text me and like, if you have nothing to hide, why do you have to put a password or not give her the access to your phone or give him the access to your phone? And I like, what? There are a lot of things that can mistakenly come up on my phone that doesn't mean, like Mr. Dixie said earlier, that we don't, it's just better, like what you don't know cannot kill you. Just clean my phone, let me clean your phone. You have your phone, I have my phone. So thank you guys for your contribution. Quickly before I move to the next question, and I want to hear from the ladies. Guys have been talking since for the last 30 minutes. Let me quickly, Gloria, do you want to go or Mrs. Bukola? Mrs. Bukola, can you hold on? Let me see if Gloria will go. Gloria is one of our new member. Let's give her the opportunity to say one or two things. Mrs. Gloria, can you hold your mic? If not, okay, thank you.
Hello. Okay, hello
Good.
everyone. Good evening. For me, it's a choice thing. My phone I have is passworded, but my husband has an information of it. I have his own information, so it's an individual thing. It has to be do with choice. I don't think there should be any principles about people either locking their phones and refusing to share their password with their spouses or partners. That's my own personal views.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Bukola, on your mic. Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma.
I think on my part too, I will want to say that it should be by choice. If you're
Okay.
fortunate and your spouse is willing to share his or her password with you, I think it's a very beautiful thing. Like for me, I know that sometimes I have password on my phone. My husband too does, but at least we know each other's password. It's just that I even forget his own most of the time, and he'll just tell me, "Hey, please help me check something on my phone." I'll tell you, "What's that your password again? Sorry, I can't remember." And he will start explaining. So it depends on the individual. But the truth is, if you know that it's going to get you into any trouble, it's better you avoid it. But as a family, it's also good that we don't keep things that are too contagious, that can, that can be a threat to our relationship. As long as things like that are out of the way, it helps us to be able to relate well, to relate better, and to earn more of the other party's trust at all times. That well, um, my husband, my
Okay.
wife is okay. And lastly, there is this notion that there is this I don't know, attitude or something, that some women tend to like try to force their husbands to give them, the password to their phone. I think that is not right. It should be something that it should be something that comes willingly, and it should not be compelled, or that you try to be on the person's neck. You have to do this, you have to give it to me, else there is something you are hiding. If you try to put it that way, then it shows that somehow something is not right in that environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Let's move to the next question that a single guy or a single lady sent me over the week. And he said, how do I break up from this unwanted relationship? I don't know how to answer that question, so I have to bring it to the house this night. How to break up from an unwanted relationship? How do I break up? And for the guys, the best advice I do give men or guys is just walk away. Don't say anything. And somebody says, no, why would you talk now? Why would you just walk away? Well, I said maybe from my own experience or for your safety, just walk away. But there are a lot of things that say, okay, you must talk. You must just break. Don't just walk away like your partner is not a woman being. You have to say one or two things. So I'm bringing the topic right now, and I don't know who am I supposed to call. We have some single people in the house. I want us to help them out with this question: how to break up from a unwanted relationship, which is a very good question, because some people, because they don't know how to break up, they don't want to cause the heartbreak, they have to stick their neck through the relationship. Even in marriage too, I nobody pray for divorce. No, nobody wants to go for divorce. On this platform, we are not talking about divorce, but in a relationship where it's toxic and stuff like that, how do you break up from that kind of relationship? For the Christian, they say you have to pray. You know how people have to pray. God will touch his or her heart. And you have been praying. It seems that it's not giving God the access to her heart or his heart. So in that kind of situation, do you want to forge ahead with the marriage or with the wedding or in the relationship? So how do you break up from that unwanted relationship? Mr. Dixon, your mic is on. Niger boy, your
Okay.
mic is on. Three people mics are on. Who do I give the platform to now? I'm confused.
Okay, I'll step down.
Can you off your mic? It seems you are listening to music there. Or you want to say something. I'm hearing background noise from somebody.
Can I ask a question, please?
Okay, go ahead.
When you say the question is saying about getting out of a relationship, right? Now, as to what, from what perspective, is it from a toxic relationship or due
Relationship, yes.
to toxic relationship, right? Hello.
I think the reason
Yeah,
for trying to break
yeah.
out of the relationship is not defined, whether
Yeah,
toxic or
because
No,
either toxic.
I think he said it. I think he said it that
I wouldn't
unwanted.
know. You just said
no, no, unwanted may not be toxic.
Yeah, which is why I was about asking that, because it
doesn't
breaks
want
it
it
cuts
again. He's
across
tired
board.
of the relationship.
Okay, if you are just tired, why are you just tired? There's something must be, there must be factors, reasons why you are just tired. Is it because the babe you saw a better babe, you saw a better guy? Is it because the guy got deformed? We should know the factors, so we know you can't just want to walk out of a relationship.
I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't. It didn't happen to me, so I wouldn't want to go into details. And it was just like, oh, so that's why I'm giving an example. Like, let's say maybe somebody is stubborn and you have been praying for God to touch his or her heart, that God make the heart no stubborn again, and the person keep on the way like that. What do you?
Well,
Then you
let me
might be tired of
contribute this way.
relationship too.
Let me contribute this way.
Okay.
There are certain relationships that you can actually go out. For example, when we were still younger in those days, most of us here in the university, let's say for example, we walk into a relationship, we walk out. In fact, I can tell you for sure, when we were in school, then one semester one girl, next semester we change. Do you get it? So these are just for some people it's game. So if that guy, that lady or a guy, whichever gender it is, if such person is playing is a game player, I mean, it's used to, how to work out of a relationship by now. And if that person is still new, I mean, asking that kind of question means that person still lacks in experience. So maybe that the partner is, dragging a toxic relationship. And in any relationship, the easiest way to go out of any relationship is break the pillars. When you break the pillars, you're going to send the biggest signals. Number one pillar you break is communication, and number two pillar you break is the distance. You try to stretch the distance as long as you can, and you slow down the conversation. And one thing you should expect when you're trying to, stay away from anyone, male or female, is that the more you go away from them, and if they really want you, the more they come closer. So you need to bear it, but it's just for a while. It's for a while because it will get to a time when that if that person has people around or him, they're gonna they will tell that person like this guy or this lady is going or is gone. Wake up to reality, and somehow excuse me, you can manage to go out of that relationship. So just shake the pillars, send direct signals. But then, if you are the bad guy or if you are the bad girl, expect the repercussion. Karma is a bitch. So that's my point of view. It's just my
That's too
advice how
that's
to
too
work out
harsh.
of relationship. No, it's not
I
harsh. It's
know,
not harsh.
I know you are
It's the way to work
you
out. It's the way
used to
to
be
work
a
out of
player.
relationship. No, see,
So you
I tell you one thing. No, I tell you one thing. In some cultures, not peculiar to Nigeria, to work out of relationship, it's a common practice to call the other partner and actually tell them. But do you know that that is worse? I mean, looking to people's in their face, all the good times you've had together, and calling it quit, it takes a lot of liver. So if you want to, I mean, some even does it without signals. I've seen examples. I mean, you ask if this guy is actually heartless. I mean, so just give the signals and give her the time. Just it's called shock absorber. So just put in a lot of shock absorber so that she can, or he or she, whichever gender it is. But working out of relationship is breaking the pillar of our relationship, and off you go.
That's very, very nice. Can I
bros,
just
please, you go ahead, go ahead. So this is a player.
so yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
for
Please.
okay. I didn't really date in Nigeria. I really date in Africa. So I spent most of my life in Europe and in the US. But I mean, breaking up, or if you're in a toxic relationship, or if you just want to live in a relationship, this is pretty easy. It's a mutual agreement. I mean, if you're not doing the things you're supposed to do anymore, you call each other every day. You see each other like once a day or like twice, depending on the things you normally do. If you're not doing it anymore, then like you send a message already. So I've been in, you know, a lot of mutual breakups, and this is just, mutual. So for me, um, like I said, in my
Who is driving? Who is driving there? Nobody is driving in Nigeria. All these people from Europe, are you guys still
very,
driving? There's no coffee in the States.
very, very different, but like in the Western world, it's also very different, and that is, I don't think the last caller said can't really what I did, just breaking up on the phone or mutually, or just talking about this working is not working out. Straight. That's how I did mine. The few ones I've been, that's how I did it.
I'd like to keep in a few thoughts.
Okay.
So
Why
I,
not?
I
Go
think
ahead.
I think we are currently in the in the generation of um, wicked folks. Let me use the word wicked in the sense that in those days when you want to break up, you put the other party's feelings into consideration. You know, you consider if sometimes you make them know this thing is not working and all that. Even despite the fact that, just like someone said, that you think of the good times you guys have had. But these days I've realized that most ladies are presently dating themselves, thinking they are dating this guy.
Yes, so
You know, so and the guy will like, haven't you seen the handwriting on the wall? Just like my chairman said the other time. When last did I call you? When last did I respond to your chat? So most times, oftentimes the other party is actually dating is singularly dating him or herself, thinking he or she is in a relationship. I still feel that there should be communication with regards to this because, just like Jaboy has mentioned, it's pretty easy sometimes here though, but I still feel communication is good because you still don't know where you guys will meet tomorrow. You know, the fact that you guys aren't working now, things aren't working for both of you for reasons best to you guys. I still think that there should be communication that in future you won't see yourself as there are too many problems in this world already. You know, we shouldn't be adding to it with oh, do you know what you did to me 20 years ago? I've not forgiven you 20 since what you did to me in 1985. You'd be like, ah. And in this era of this life of, oh, someone is doing you, this person is doing me. Someone will tell you that you've offended one lady somewhere.
you have to
It's
go and
it's
check.
it's really crazy. But I still
African,
feel that. Sorry.
I say African magic. You have to go and beg the lady.
You understand, but it's always good to have a conscience and do the right thing, even if you're a player. That's why I use the word wicked. Most players they don't have that conscience anymore. They just do whatever you do. Some do it as a form of retaliation from past hurt. Some are just natural um, players that don't care. But above all, while you are thinking of getting out of a ship, I think you should just follow your heart. But of course, don't use your brain. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Wow, guys have said a lot this evening. Quickly, before our time runs out, because we are closing by 9, let's give the floor to another lady. The topic is for the new people that are joining us: Samson, Pastor Samson, Mrs. Ayeno Lupukola. Our second question is how to break up from an unwanted relationship. We said a lot before you guys join us. Some people say we should just walk away. And Mr. Kunle just said we should. I think there's nothing wrong in communication, so that we will not go back to the African magic way. In 10 years time, they will say, bring all those share, share. You have
Black
to go
Moses,
and beg.
before we give the ladies the microphone, if I may just use a minute. You see, it depends on
So,
the kind of the kind of person you're dating and the kind of relationship. Do you get it? Well, relationship between
okay.
matured people, it's very easy for them to talk about it. Do you get it? And one thing is about the future, and that's what most people think because we do not know for sure where we're going to meet again and for where we might need assistance. Everyone in this life, you need assistance somewhere, or So you put that into consideration as well. But when you actually tell someone that you want to walk away, you are the one who is probably tired or fed up of that relationship. What if the other person is not fed up or is not going to let you go? Do you get it? So, and the calculation, because it's about calculation, right? The calculation is okay. If we meet again, You still have a story around it why you left. There are thousands of story out there. But looking, I mean, I watched a movie recently. I saw a guy. I mean, he told this woman, it's like a horror movie. I can't remember the title. He told this woman to her face that he's calling it quits, and he said he's finalizing the divorce. I mean, they married, not boyfriend girlfriend, marriage. That is calling. Initially, I thought they were going to reconcile, and the man looked her directly into the face and told her that, and the woman went and killed herself. I mean, that's very very bad. The communicate. There are verbal and there are non-verbal communication. So these non-verbal communication are very effective, and it sends shock absorber. You do not know for any reason anyone can be tired of any relationship. So if you want to do that, I think you should be very, very diplomatic. Yeah. And when you send those signals, giving those shock absorber, you actually considering that person. But like one of the callers said, wicked people. There are a lot of wicked people who are, they are just game players, and that's why I mentioned karma. Whatever you do to hurt another person is still going to fall back on you in your journey in life. It's just simple.
Okay, thank you. Oh, let's still pass the microphone to the ladies. Mrs. Bukola, you want to go, or Mrs. Okay, we have to Bukola is in the house already. Mrs. Olu Bukola, you are welcome. The question is how to break up from a unwanted relationship. So a lot of our men have said a lot, so we want to hear from the ladies too. I still believe in communication though. I still believe because before going into the relationship, you guys communicate. So if you want to leave, no matter the behavior of that person, I still believe you still have to call the person, sit and let's talk. Okay, yeah, on your mic.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I
Good
came
evening.
late.
Yeah, good evening.
As
Okay,
usual.
I've had so much. My own contribution is that breaking off from an unwanted relationship, it's better to set a signal first. Just like one of the speakers said, those that spoken, somebody said, when you break up from a relationship without sending a signal, it could cause a lot of things. You know, just like the person that talked about a movie that somebody killed herself, it could happen that way, depending on the level or how far they've gone in that relationship. So it's better to set is a kind of signals. So the other party knows that something is wrong somewhere. This person used to call me like 2 times in a day or 3 times. The call reduced to once. And at a point in time, no call at all. So the other person should know that something is wrong somewhere. And when you try to find out what happened, the person can just come up and invite the other person and talk to him. You just have to be diplomatic in doing that so that you will not cause a harm. So that's just my own contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria, Mrs. Bukola, Mrs. Gloria, Samson, Itebe. Okay, Samson, do you have anything to say from the pastoral angle?
Thank you very much, Black Moses, and thank you for having me this night. Sorry for coming late.
Thank you for
Quite a number of meetings. I've been going in and out of meetings, and I'm even supposed to be in a meeting now, but I just said, let me come because this is my commitment, and I just have to, find myself here. Now, going to the topic, I believe we are talking about an unhealthy relationship here, right?
like
Hello.
unwanted, not really on
It,
maybe
It's
the
it
not
person
just
is
be
just
it's
somebody is
not
just tired of the relationship.
well defined. It's just like you just want to
yeah,
quit a relationship.
it's
Or
unhealthy.
it might not be it might not be unhealthy. It might not be.
Okay, unwanted. Okay. But first and foremost, I think you just need to make a decision. You need to decide once and for all that you are going to end that relationship. Probably it's not taking you the place you want it to go. And in order, because I always told myself, better the relationship is broken than you now find yourself in a relationship, a long life. I mean,
Okay. Am I the only one that lost your connection or
I listen to.
okay, we lost him there. Okay. All right. Let's 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 go on. Anybody has anything to say before we run out of time? I still have one more question to throw. Maybe we can handle the question next week while we are waiting for him. Anybody wants to go? Mrs. Bukola, okay, you want to say something?
I'd just like to chip in that for questions like this, it's important or it's very good for people to define it, because sometimes the relationship the person is talking about, maybe most of the faults in the relationship are even coming from the person, and the other party, has just been trying to struggle with it and whatever. It's good we have a clear picture of what you are actually talking about, so that one will not just give suggestions um, out of context, and the person decides to act on what has been said and then finds himself or herself in trouble. But
Well, it doesn't matter. It could be the person could be at fault, but the thing
oh,
is, he doesn't
sorry,
want to want it. He didn't want relationship
sorry,
again.
please.
Whether
Hope I hope
whether
you got me.
okay,
Hope you got me the
okay,
other
Mr.
time.
Sam, okay, you are back.
Sorry, did you get the point I stated? It's
Yes,
like
we
I
got
timed
you
out.
before we lost. Yes,
All right.
okay,
Okay.
we got you. So, Mr. Bukola, what I'm saying is, whether I'm the one at fault or not, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of the relationship. I want to get out. I might be the one that fault. I might be the one that is making life difficult for the next person. But in my own case, I just want to get out of the relationship. Whether the relationship is toxic, or maybe the guy is just tired of the whole thing, or the lady is just tired of the whole thing, or the person is not feeling the vibe again. The question is,
okay,
I just want to get out. How do I get out of that relationship? Before I would tell people just walk away. So, but later, like, okay, instead of just walking away, before you get into the relationship, I think you guys communicate and you agree. And now that you want to leave the relationship, I believe you should all sit and talk. Like somebody said, if the person is not tired, well, it's my own tired, it's not your tired. But I'm bringing my own tiredness into this relationship that let me quit. You are saying you're not tired. Well, that is your tired, but this is my own tired. I'm tired. I want to move on. So so that's the question, that how do I leave it? Should I talk, or should I just walk away? Or should I just set signal like people have been talking about? So what's your own advice?
I would like to suggest that for such a relationship, it's always good that we communicate. At least it is in the first place a relationship. You may not have to hit the nail on the head once, but at least show some, from a few things the person would have discussed with the other party previously. There would have been signs that, hey, this relationship is no longer the way it used to be, that the way you people communicate is, you know, reducing drastically and stuff like that. Maybe the emotional attachment that is also involved is withdrawn and all that, and the other person would have been sensing it in a way. Now, when the person is not now trying to come out, with time, you should be able to allow time to for the other person to see clearly that, hey, you are no longer the usual person you used to be in that relationship. That's where you are not coming out straight or just coming to hit the nail on the head. You should be able to give a level of distance that is recognizable, that the other party, even if it's blind, will be able to feel it, that, hey, this thing used to be there but it's no longer there, that used to be there but it's no longer there. And all those things, all those signs, they are actually communication, which can be termed as non-verbal communication, because those signals actually speak for themselves. And when the person has now begun to feel those things, you can now, the person, of course, is expected to ask questions. And in the course of asking questions, you should be able to open up and tell the person, look, to be sincere with you, this thing seems not to be going down well, and you can sort it out actually. Because sometimes the relationship we even think we treasure so much may even be the one that is hurting us the most. And when something hurts you, of course, you have the right to walk away from it. If you need to change your environment, if it's convenient, you can do that to avoid the person for some time. And then, you know, that way, a good information would have been sent across that this thing is no longer meant to be. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
thank you.
and yeah, I like that. And the woman or the man would already be preparing for the healing process. Just it's better than just inviting someone and giving it out, dishing it out. Oh, like, I mean, there are certain things ahead of time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We have 4 more minutes to go. Anybody wants to say 1 or 2 things before 10 seconds? If you have something to say before I move to the next thing. Niger, okay, you on your mic.
Yeah. I was gonna say something earlier, but
Okay.
I didn't live for like 4 years in Poland, and I didn't feel what I was feeling. I mean, like I just stopped. The love wasn't there anymore, and I had to let her go. And I told her, what we felt initially when we was dating wasn't there anymore. And I know then I spoke to my friends in Nigeria. I said, oh, you guys should go ahead and continue and work it out. But believe me, when that spark is gone, there's really nothing else you can do. My friend said he would have continued trying to work it out, but it's unfair for me to go ahead, and it's unfair to the baby since I don't feel the same feeling anymore. And I told her this, and at first it was very very bad, but this is for both of us. This is for the best, and I had to let her go. And I mean, initially she was upset, bitter, she was suicidal and all that. But later, a few years later, she found out that I did the right thing by letting her know that I cannot pretend to be in this relationship when I don't feel the same thing anymore. So
Definitely.
right now we're good friends, and she's married, she got kids and all that, and I'm also doing well. So I just feel like regardless of how long you guys have been together, if that spark is not there anymore, just let her know, and she let him know.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Thanks, bro. Yeah, on that note, I will drop the last topic, though we have 2 more minutes and we just take it to next week. What we do every week for the people that are joining us for the first time is we throw in like 2 to 3 questions, the one that affects the married people and the singles. So the last one for today, which we are going to push to next week, is for the single people. And I want an elaborate wedding, and my spouse wants a low-key wedding. Please let us write it down somewhere. That's where we are going to start from next week. This brother said he wants an elaborate wedding, and for the first time in Africa, a lady said she wants a low-key wedding. And so this has been going on. They are supposed to have the wedding last year, but now the turn of the Mamu, COVID has entered. So they cannot even do the low key. The one wants to do the low key, but the husband still wants to do the elaborate. But now coronavirus did not allow the husband wish. So they are still on that. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you to everybody that joined us today. I know you guys have to set out time from your busy schedule. And to the big brothers that came all the way from Canada, from Europe, I don't know the other state. Thank you so much, Niger Boy and Kunle Kende. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Samson Otitokoro, Mrs. Gloria Laudu, Mrs. Bukola, Mrs. Tu Bukola, thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate everyone. Thank you. God bless you. Hope to see you guys next week. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. God
Yeah.
bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Oh,
everybody.
thank you. Good
Bye
night.
bye.
Mulekande, thank
Good
you
night,
so
all.
much. Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. You guys have to go
Okay,
and
bye.
sleep. Thank you. Niger boy, thank you so much. Thank you. Niger boy, thank you. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone.